All the tortoise says that my tortoise I'm thinking yeah, the tortoise big. Right, let's go outside.
Well, it's almost 7. Should be here any minute.
You know, Jack should have turned up for this.
It'd be pointless, the mood he was in.
I could have at least made the effort. The situation at Rugden doesn't turn out in our favor. It's as much in his interest to meet Mueller as yours and mine.
I know, Tom. Oh, he'll calm down and we'll talk it all over tomorrow.
Tom doesn't strike me as the one who's being obstinate, Jack.
That's just because he's your son-in-law and can do no wrong.
No, it isn't. It's because I can see the situation objectively. And from what you tell me, Tom and Avril can too.
That's all a panic over nothing.
Hardly nothing, Jack. If the Barracuda and Tom's designs don't fit in with the new company's plans, well, you'll just have to have some plans of your own, won't you? It's no good arguing with Tom and Avril and getting hot under the collar. That'll achieve nothing.
Well, I've got good enough reason. I'm under pressure. Not with the problems at the boatyard, but with Mrs. Davis Seagram.
Oh? What now?
Well, she's getting serious, Kate. She keeps sending me gifts. Wants to take me out to lunch, to dinner.
Well, you did too good a job whining and dining her so as to get your order, didn't you?
By God, Kate, it's not like you to be that cynical.
Am I being cynical, Jack?
All right. I did lead her on a little.
And it's all your fault, isn't it? Your strategy has backfired.
What am I going to do, Kate? She's after me night and day.
Then you'll just have to tell her, won't you? Spell it out for her. Tell her that all you're interested in is building the boat. It's not fair to string her along. Poor woman. Tell her. Go on. Tell her.
And, roast duck. It's king prawn and sesame seed. That's a sort of Chinese toast, yeah? And, prawn crackers. Marinated chicken. Spring rolls and, some boiled rice. God, this was a good idea, wasn't it?
Excellent.
You see, if Madam Howard are too tired to go out for meal, that a Missy Masters bring Madam Howard in meal.
Yes, very impressive, Ken.
Well, someone's got to look after you. Why not me? After all, I was the one that got you out of the house and into the business world, so it's only right that you rest and let me spoil you. Service all right, is it?
Well, it's different
From what?
from anything I've ever had before.
Well, you see, I've only seen the one side of me. Actually, I'm quite a domesticated person.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. And I might just be ready to settle down, prawn cracker.
Ken, I thought you wanted to discuss your powerboat agreement. Not anything else.
Yes, well, I do. Now I'm getting myself sorted out, I thought you might be interested in, well, you know, us getting back together again. You see, I'm on the verge of a golden opportunity. I'm with this partner now that can't see the wood
Ken,
for the
it doesn't
trees.
make any difference. Did you see?
Somehow this food isn't going to taste quite so good. You mean our relationship is badly off course?
What makes you think it was ever on course?
Well, it was. Till that business with Leo. Oh, try and understand, Jan. I went through a rough patch. I was badly let down by Freya. But now I'm expanding into the powerboat market. I'm consolidating my business. I shall soon be back on my feet.
Ken, my feelings for you don't depend on whether you're successful or not.
Well, it didn't exactly put you off before, did it?
How do you mean?
Oh, you heard. Ever since I started having business problems, you haven't wanted to know.
That's not fair.
Oh, isn't it?
No, it's not, and you know it isn't.
Then why the sudden change?
It's not sudden, Ken. My divorce from Tom isn't even through yet. I'm not ready to settle down with you or anyone else.
Look, I'll spell this out. Just once. I decided to come round here tonight to try and sort things out between you and I. Now, I've made all the running. Not anymore. Now it's up to you. And before you turn me away for good, just think it all over. Very carefully. I'll be in touch in a few days' time for your answer. Just make sure you make the right decision, Jan. Not one you might one day come to regret. Have Relta Marine exclusive right to all your designs, Mr. Hart?
No, the agreement we have concerns only the Barracuda and the Catamaran so far.
And this takeover, how will it affect that agreement? Are you at liberty to say?
Well,
We're not quite sure at the moment, Mr. Muller. But if the manufacturing options aren't taken up, the catamaran could be made available to an alternative production company. Subject, of course, to Relton recouping their development costs.
Of course. You say you have a prototype of the catamaran.
yes.
My directors and I are most impressed with Barracuda. And I shall certainly welcome the opportunity of examining the catamaran along with any future design.
Still up?
Just finishing off some paperwork. You're late.
Someone after work. Seems like you've been seeing someone too.
Ah, yes, Ken was over earlier.
I seem to have missed you over the past few days. I've been wanting to talk.
Yes, Leo, so have I. How about the other night? I'm sorry.
Don't be. I should be the one apologising. I shouldn't have said those things. I was out of order.
Why not? If that's the way you felt, then you were right to. I'm glad you did. After all, if I can't rely on my own family to tell me the truth, who can I rely on?
Probably rely on anyone rather than me these days. Can't seem to get my own life together, so what right have I to go on at you about yours?
You're my son.
Probably part of the problem.
How do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. A son, unable to think of his mother as a woman.
Going out with other men?
Yeah, that too, I suppose.
Why is it so difficult? Your father and I are no longer together, Leo.
Probably the other part of the problem.
But why? Your father accepts it, I accept it, even Lynn. Why can't you?
At times I can. Other times, I can't. I know it shouldn't bother me. I mean, I'm not 10 years old or anything. It's just what you were saying earlier about relying on your own family. A few years ago, if anyone had told me that what's happened between you and Dad would happen, I would have told them there was no way. I mean, you were always so honest and open with each other. Me, Lynn. And Dad meets Avril. You meet Ken. And suddenly, after years of thinking something's one way, well, you find out it's all totally different.
Look, Leo, no one expected it to happen, least of all your father or I.
I know. It's just difficult to handle at times, realizing that if you rely on something too much, well, it just places you in a vulnerable position, that's all.
So what are you going to do? Withdraw from the world and rely on nobody?
No. What happens if you rely on someone and they let you down and you find yourself faced with the same situation?
Abby.
That obvious, is it?
Afraid so. Is that why you flared up the other evening?
Yeah.
you want to talk about it?